Hello everyone, I'm the Elfwind. I've just blown in. And today we are back with more Seduce Me 2, The Demon Walls. Last time, I took a test, and par for course, I passed. Yay, go me. Sam got the dragon powers, and he is now the Dragon Lord. Yay! Unfortunately, our celebration of the test had to be put on hold because Diana wanted to have some words with my guy. And while I understand Diana's need to vent and her frustration, I personally feel she is laying blame on the wrong person. Or wrong persons, I should say. You know, myself and the 5 incubi brothers. But, yeah. That's up for a whole other debate for another day. Or, you know, have so in the comments. We can totally talk about this, but, yeah. Also, Damien pretty much stopped us from interrupting Diana's little tirade, and yeah, we learned some things about Sam last time. About how, yeah, they're only half incubi. Because their moms are succubuses, but their daddy is a brute demon. And Sam got a lot more of the brute demon tendencies than the rest of his brothers. Which goes a long way to explaining his personality, maybe question mark. But that opens up a whole door for nurture versus nature. But given who, air quotes, nurtured him, yeah, he could probably be a lot worse. Now, with that said, let's hop back into it. Damien, if you'll give me your last line.
Sam, our brothers and I were born incubi, but Sam inherited more brute demon traits than the rest of us.
Just talk about that.
Why he had the nicknames Brute and Monster.
Ah. Okay. Now, what is my response to this? Because he wasn't like a regular incubus? Damien nodded. I looked to Sam, seeing him stare into Diana's scalp with a focused but intense expression. The more I thought about it, the more I could see what he meant.
Sam never got into the idea of taking and using sexual energy. He was angry all of the time in the demon world, so he fed on rage energy instead. It wasn't until he went to the human world with us when he began to rely on his incubus powers.
Interesting. I actually did not know this. I could only imagine it. Sam, who hated his father and was the rebel son of the Incubi brothers, full of anger. That was probably why he was so forward when we had met, and full of attitude. No, because that attitude really hasn't gone away. It may have softened toward me specifically because love, but he's still kind of a jerk at times. Still, I fell in love with him. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. He was truly a wonderful man. He did everything he could to make me happy and feel safe. He always put me first, which flattered me and made me feel incredibly special. I didn't know what to say about that. Diana eventually stopped crying and wiped the tears from her face, but she didn't release her head. Damien, whom I thought would have stayed longer, disappeared, leaving me alone to watch.
Sam, if I die, would you?
Spread your ashes, give you a funeral, return home to the human world, yes. Sam, ... question mark. Would he what? I stared, hoping that Diana would reply with a clearer question, but she merely closed her eyes and let out a small sigh. Suddenly the noise in the room became silent, but I could see Diana's lips move. Sam's eyes widened as she finished speaking, but he didn't say anything back, even as Diana looked up at Sam. When Sam finally reacted, he let out a silent sigh and spoke back. the sound of his voice negated through whatever silence engulfed the room. As my body began to collapse, I watched as Diana listened and nodded with a smile before fading into the ground through a dark pentagram. Sam, however, remained there, staring where Diana had been, and took in whatever she had said. If she dies, are you next in line for the throne? Because, as I understand it, the rest of her family's been wiped out. Upon the demand of my body, I began to make my way towards the bedroom, not wanting Sam to know that I had been eavesdropping. I finally reached my room and let my body fall onto the bed. I let a sigh of utter pleasure as I felt the cloud-like bed cradle my body on its surface. I was beyond happy. I had been kidnapped and taken to the demon world by the demon lord, trapped here unless he or I died. Then Sam and I had haunted. That cannot be written properly. Sorry. I think she means had been haunted. Like, there's words missing in this sentence. Then Sam and I had haunted by a powerful being that had been hell-bent on testing us. Yeah, but I'm smart, so we passed. This entire week had become a wild roller coaster ride of excitement. Not the word I would use, that I would never have expected. Still, there was joy to be found in adventure, and my curiosity thanked destiny for letting me experience it. Now all I wanted to do was get home and marry the man I loved. Or, alternate plan, we get married but stay here. I'm just saying, I think we could rule. As Sam finally entered the room at last, I smiled and stood, walking over and wrapping my arms around him.
Hey, you ready to go home?
I mean, do we have to? I mean, this room is pretty luxe. More than ready. We held each other, locked in silence, unable to say anything more. We let the situation we had just gone through sink in, relieved that we were going to be happy from now on together. I mean, are we really? All we could do in the moment was hold each other and listen to our synchronized heartbeats. As the thought of tomorrow danced in my head, I began to grow fearful. Was I ready to go into battle? Maybe. Was Sam? Yeah, Sam I'm not worried about. He was made for the battlefield. Were any of us, for that matter? We were about to walk into the final clash of a world war. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys and gals. Would we survive? Probably. I mean, we didn't burn alive this time. Would I live to remain with Sam and feel his embrace again? Tomorrow brought too many questions to think about, and I became frustrated and scared. Then stopped thinking. You know what? Let's do something that will make me stop thinking. Time for love time, Sam. Get naked. I needed to hold him and treat the night like it was our last. Tomorrow was unpredictable. Yeah, but every tomorrow is unpredictable. But tonight was guaranteed. Which is probably more than some people have. A wave of carnal need rushed through me, needing to indulge all I could tonight. It was stupid to believe that tomorrow could have been our last day alive. You're walking into the last battle of a war. It's not stupid to think that. But reality scared me. It scares us all. That's why reality bites. I was scared, and I needed to release that fear in Sam's arms. We needed to rock as if the world was ending, because we didn't know if it would. I gripped onto Sam's jacket and pulled him close to me, slamming my lips into his and feeling him gasp against our kiss. He stared wide-eyed at me for a moment before gripping to my waist hard and returning my kiss. He was feeling the same. I could feel the tremors of his own concern rumble beneath his fingertips as they gently dragged themselves along my waist and buried themselves under my clothes. away slightly, panting as I buried my gaze into his eyes. I still don't remember how it's pronounced. Amores? Amores. His eyes flashed a gold color at the sound of his true name. I would use it and call it over and over to make him drive me to the blissful night we desperately needed. His grip on me tightened as I leaned in nose to nose, repeating it in a husky tone. Amores. A carnal snarl escaped Sam's lips before he roughly cupped a hand behind my head and pulled me into a hard kiss, growling lustfully against my lips as I groaned at the feeling. The gates of our control flung open and we let it all in. It almost became too easy tearing Sam's clothes off of his body. It was definitely easy for him to strip every last article off of my body and take in the sensation of our skin-to-skin contact. The heat dancing over our skins became almost unbearable as he marched me to the bed and pinned me down, biting over my lip before planting nips over my neck and shoulders. I would bear the love bites and hickeys he was painting over my skin with pride. Aw, as you should. All I cared about was feeling him within my arms and screaming his name as we finally passed the point of no return. His demon name spurred him on, skyrocketing the passion between us as I let it fall for my name. Between my euphoric cries of pleasure, his fingers clawed over my back as my own gripped his shoulders hard, returning the favor. My name fell from his own lips between his hard and loving kisses over my neck and shoulder. As he finally claimed my lips to silence us both, we became unhinged and soared through multiple peaks of ecstasy. I could barely remember how many we rushed through, but our emotions were running high, and the beautiful afterglow that awaited us gave us a soft descent into a blissful haze in each other's arms. Aww. We were both hurting, aching from the amount of energy released in our lovemaking, but thankful in the end that we did. We didn't need to speak as we held each other close and let the night consume us. My heart was filled of Sam, and I became slowly protective of my love for him. If tomorrow was going to be a test against death, come on, we beat a dragon, how hard can death be? Then it was a test I would succeed in. But with Sam, he ain't that bright. I would not let the Demon Lord or anyone take Sam away from me again. Pay attention, Diana. I love you, Amores. Tomorrow would decide everything. Ooh, dramatic music came. The day of the siege had finally dawned. We had arrived at the Demon Lord's castle, and we were as ready as we could be. Many armies bearing different banners and colors washed over the grounds before the castle, ready to rush in and lay waste to the Demon Lord and the remainder of his forces. All of us shared a common enemy, and, upon his demise, all finally know some form of peace. Yeah! Last time we didn't make it this far. Even during the roll call of the major generals, the air became full of determination and pride. Woo! Go team! Kick his ass!
Mirth! Avarice! Nadia! Fiorna! Aradum!
Go get him, Mirth. Ride your pony to victory. Everest, what are you doing outside of Roslyn? Each name called became a mark on history. This was the war to bring freedom or destruction to the demon world. If the rebellion didn't win this fight, then this war would never end. If the rebellion won, then the world would become united in hopefully peaceful rule. The hour before the battle was set to take place. My thoughts instantly ran back to our final meeting in Lilith Castle. Dan had pulled the leaders and us together, instructing us on how exactly to proceed.
Zero, you will be joining Shadow and Sergeant in the front, taking care of the main army head-on. I expect that you will come out of it alive.
I'm not so heartbroken if he doesn't.
Yes, my lady.
Rabbit, Faye, You are in charge of range attacks and defense.
Good use of
We
it.
cannot allow any of those blasted imps getting to us from behind.
Uh-huh. No one likes being taken behind by an imp. Ew.
Yes, ma'am!
As Diana looked to me, I grew slightly fearful. I had to get into the Demon Lord's castle, but how exactly did Diana plan on getting me there? Magic? Teleportation? I don't know.
You and your fiancé will take the side route straight to the castle.
Cool. We got this, Sam, right? Wait, huh?
We've organized our army to have our strongest on the front lines and
Okay.
against the tree line, giving us a side route for you to make your way straight to the castle.
Cool. Thanks, bunny girl.
If anything trickles into the side route, you'll be able to handle it. However, there is something I must ask of you.
Okay. What is it?
If you are indeed attacked, you need to defend your fiancé the entire way there.
Okay.
Do not let him use his energy.
Oh, he has plenty left last night.
Like hell she will.
Sam, shush. The adults are talking.
When you get to the castle, I will be fighting one-on-one with the Demon Lord.
Uh-huh.
If something should happen to me, then I need you to take over. She is not ready to fight him, and you need to be at full strength to finish him off.
Okay. See? That's why, sweetie. I stared, listening and reaffirming the order. I couldn't lie, I was nervous. However, I was determined enough to see this through. I looked over at my fiancé with a confident smile. I got this. Don't worry. I mean, like, in our verse, I defended Malix by myself and came home. You didn't save me. At least in canon verse. Then again, this is non-canon, so... Despite the worried look in his eyes, he nodded and held my hand, trusting me in my decision to agree with Diana's command. Diana rolled her shoulders and looked at the map draped over the war table between us all. Her gaze pierced into the parchment, as the aura around her body pulsated in anger.
I will fly ahead and meet the Demon Lord head-on. No matter what happens, I will not allow that monster to live.
Cool. The pure determination and anger in her voice practically sent a shiver down my spine. She was set on seeing this through to the end, and I was sure that she was willing to even die if it meant taking the Demon Lord with her. Shadow, however, cleared his throat.
Might I suggest a simple solution to deal with the Demon Lord?
Go on.
What is it?
Shadow turned and pointed to the map, his fingers pressing a tower structure on the Demon Lord's castle.
If my scouts are correct, then that tower directly hovers over the decaying sea.
I think I know where this is going, but I'm curious. Tell me more. The what? Shadow turned to me with an unamused grimace while Rabbit stepped towards me, hugging her staff to her body.
The decaying sea. A cursed stretch of water that has plagued this side of the demon world for thousands of years.
Uh-huh.
Many demons have fallen into that water and were never seen again.
Cool.
It's no ordinary sea. It's an eternal death wish.
The Demon Lord built his castle over this. Clearly, we are dealing with a genius. Just from the look in Rabbit's eyes, I could tell that this sea was bad news. Shadow nodded at Rabbit's description, adding more to the fright of the waters the castle was pressed against.
Any creature unfortunate enough to fall into that cursed stretch of water will be doomed to sink into an endless black void. They can never die due to the dark magic in the water, but they can never come back up. There is no saving them.
Yeah, but I kinda need him to die. I would like to go home. I became fearful just thinking about going near it. However, Diana crossed her arms and stared blankly at Shadow.
So you wish for me to drag him up to the tower and toss him over?
Well, I mean, it's a strategy, but I would like to go home.
Precisely. It would make killing him much easier, wouldn't you think?
But you just said they don't die, they just kind of stay in purgatory. Diana pressed her lips together, not agreeing or disagreeing with the suggestion given to her. However, the conversation quickly turned back to the matter at hand. See, this is interesting, because we don't get this solution in other playthroughs. The remaining incubi and the wives were asking to stay behind the army and guard the main base, where Rabbit and Faye were stationed. They needed as many eyes as possible in the back of the battle, so the 4 couples were perfect to keep things in check. See, y'all got something to do. Roll initiative. As they agreed, the meeting ended and the mental preparation had begun. The idea of the upcoming battle scared me, sending waves of fear and worry up and down my body in response to the thought.
Meh. Big crowd for a dickhead old man, huh?
Agreed. For once, we finally agree on something. Huh? I looked at the map on the war table, seeing multiple markers clutter in an open field in front of the Demon Lord's castle. According to Sergeant, there were hundreds or thousands of soldiers preparing to march, all ready to shed the blood. I, however, looked to Sam with worry. I was frightened yet determined, worried yet pushing myself to be brave and step forward. Sensing this, Sam wrapped his hand around mine and gave it a squeeze.
Hey, whatever happens, we'll do it together, alright?
Exactly. I listened to him speak before nodding, taking in a deep breath. Everything would be okay. We would be fine. Uh-huh, keep lying to ourselves. I had to believe in myself and get us to the castle when the time was right. Hey, I am Lady of Dragons, we got this. Like a beacon, our forces became the banner of hope and strength for the rebellion. At the sight of Diana, many soldiers bowed or stared in awe and inspiration. Maybe it was her presence, or maybe it was what she stood for. But as Diana stood at the cliffside of the mountain, the air became full of energy and power. My fiancé, Rabbit, Faye, and I stood behind her, as Diana stood on the ledge of the cliffside, addressing the rebellion for their final battle. Her voice echoed across the field, booming and reverberating through the air like thunder.
Milites! Et hoc liberati sturei tramcun tuis omnibus conversiris! Stovo viscum reducitic vos ad spem! Nocte! Lavabir mur! Arcem! Hostium sanguine!
What did she say? Exactly, Gabe. Give me a frickin' translation.
She's saying that everyone's here for the same thing. We're gonna paint the walls with blood.
Cool. As it should. Really?
Well, not literally, but that should kick everyone's ass in gear.
I nodded as I stared back at Diana's head. A part of me felt a little intimidated and jealous of the power she had. I'm special too, darn it. She really could make armies bow to her and obey her every whim. Yeah, she is kind of OP'd. At the same time, I knew that she was doing the right thing for this world. I mean, are we really sure about that?
Ele Dio dominati sunt nostri! Nos destruet, eum mitere, profundissimum, inferni detractos!
Cool. Rabbit and Faye stepped forward and held their hands out towards the castle, focusing their energies and forcing the stone walls around it to crumble and dissolve down into the earth. Right, because we used trap this time. Diana summoned her saber, letting it shine brilliantly as the purple taint over her skin began to twist and turn. Before my eyes, the taint on her back took on shape, lifting off of Diana's skin and morphed into a set of demonic wings. I could only stare, jaw dropped as Diana's body lifted off the ground and began to fly with the legion, slowly gliding towards the castle.
To war! To battle!
I wish we could see this. It sounds awesome. At her final command, Diana's wings pulsated in the air, flapping gracefully as she swooped down and forward. She was charging and flying at the castle walls, saber bared and ready to spill blood. As the armies below began to bellow and march forward, Rabbit took hold of my shoulder and turned me away from the castle to face her.
Come, we must hurry.
Okay, let's run. Understanding the need for urgency, I nodded and rushed forward with the rest of the incubi towards the slope down the mountainside.
Everything is in order. Sergeant Diana's guard are at the front lines, while Shadow is with his legion to the west.
Cool.
We got a straight line to that bastard.
Okay, let's go.
We've done what we can to keep your way clear. We'll try to make sure the battle won't break through the path.
Uh-huh. I nodded, feeling the need to rush nip at my heels, pushing me forward. My fiancé seemed to agree, gripping my hand and walking at my pace alongside me. However, as we finally arrived at the forest line, Faye and Rabbit stopped, looking back at us.
Straight through here. The sound of the war will always be on your right, so do not get lost.
Okay.
You'll be fine, though. Just follow the tree line.
Uh-huh. You got this. Hi, girls. Nice meeting you. In sync, my fiancé and I nodded in acknowledgement before turning to see the brothers in their lives. So, this is it.
Remember your surroundings and protect each other.
Uh-huh.
Be careful, alright? Make sure you stay safe.
You too.
Princess, brother, we'll see you in the end.
Exactly.
We have faith in you.
Aw.
You'll make it there, and we'll return to the human world soon.
We'd better.
We'll finish this and rush in as soon as we can, alright?
Cool.
Make sure you kick some serious ass.
Will do.
Show that old goat what he gets for messing with you.
Exactly. Wink.
We'll win this. We know we can.
Uh-huh.
You can do this. We'll see you soon, okay?
Okay. You guys take care of each other. I smiled, despite the nerves running through my body. I held on to my fiancé's hand and gave it a hard squeeze before receiving one back in kind. We'll finish this, then we'll go home. The group nodded before I slowly turned and looked through the tree line, took a breath and rushed forward. Matching my speed, my love followed, weaving through the trees behind me to not lose sight of me. The journey became simple with us running through the trees. The sounds of war echoed beside us, outside of the tree line, causing me to cover my ears a bit from the volume. But I shook my head and pressed forward, not wanting to become distracted. The goal was to get to the castle. I had to focus. We made our way through the thick forest, dodging each tree and root that we came across, until something was ahead, caused me to grit my teeth and attempt to weave through whatever there was there. As I expected, we were rushing near a group of imps, who were about to jump into the war fray from the side as a surprise attack, making me smirk. They were distracted enough to not notice us. I quickly took my sword from my scarab and swung hard at the group of demons ahead of me, cleaving through the back of their necks. They couldn't even let out a scream as their voices became bubbly with blood. As they fell, I continued forward, gripping my sword and preparing in case we ran across another group. Possible. My incubus kept up the pace, understanding what I had done, but a little surprised at my skill. Yeah, I am too. We've only been training for like a week. We continued to run forward, heading straight into another group of imps, and rushed past them, dropping my sword and slashing through the back of their legs, letting them fall forward, synchronized in pain. I am rolling all the nat 20s this combat, aren't I? The imps fell as the others ahead of them turned and became shell-shocked at the sight. I must have been a big surprise to see a human cut down a group all at once, but I wasn't so friendly and merciful, especially in this war, as I lunged forward again and swung my sword into the air. I became precise with my attacks, cutting down as many as I could as little attacks as I made. There were a couple of close calls, but training with mirth on my toes, ready for anything. My incubus, despite probably being surprised at my carnage, followed as I continued forward, fighting through every imp that came in our way. I had lost count of how many crossed me, but I didn't care. All I cared about was getting to the castle. Exactly. By the time we reached the end of the forest, there were a slew of dead bodies behind me. I stood at the tree line, panting and feeling waves of adrenaline and lack of energy run through my veins. I panted for air, slowly focusing on calming down. As my energy quickly depleted from its adrenaline-filled high, I had to drop my sword, unable to hold it any longer. That was all I could do before my energy was expanding, and a wave of exhaustion rolled through my body. I began to fall forward, exhausted. My fiancé, however, quickly rushed forward and caught me in his arms.
Oh shit! Are you okay?
I'm fine. This is fun. I looked up to see Sam staring down at me with deeply concerned gaze. We were safe for the moment, so I merely smiled up at him with a nod. I'm fine. I promise to protect you, like you protect me. Sam pressed his lips together and shook his head, glaring down at me before wrapping his arms fully around me and hugging me to him.
You fucking doofus.
I know, right? That's why you love me, dingbat. I hugged him back, feeling relief that we had finally arrived at the castle and were about to rush inside. As we slowly pulled away, Sam lifted me up and helped me to my feet.
You gonna be okay?
I'm fine. This is fine. I nodded, shaking off the exhaustion from my mind. I was ready to end this. I looked up at the castle gates and felt a rush of determination run through me. Let's go finish this. With that, Sam and I raced forward. The final battle had begun. At the gates, however, stood a figure that seemed to pose almost pridefully in our path. Sam and I stopped our run and took in who was standing in our way. For some reason, he seemed familiar. Oh. Who?
Finally, you showed up.
Oh, dude. Let's go. That voice. My mind finally clicked, linking the voice to a memory I wished I'd forgotten. However, it couldn't have been. Why not? They just went back to their plane of existence, which I'm guessing if they're demon devils, is hell. No way. Wow, you got uglier since the last time I saw you. Sam began to growl almost animalistically as the figure stepped out of the shadow of the gate. His face was covered by a terrifying devil mask. Oh, it's a mask. Never mind. But I recognized him despite the fact. His white hair, his red skin, there was no way it could have been.
Missed me, bitch?
Not really, fucker.
Malix!
Down, boy. Save your energy for the real fight. This is mine. Wow, I was right. You did get uglier. At the sound of his name, Malix reached up and removed the mask from his face, revealing a large amount of scars and wounds that were hidden away. Despite this, there was almost a smirk plastered from ear to ear across Malix's cheeks.
You're supposed to be dead!
Agreed.
You didn't think I actually died, did you?
No.
Only pussy little boys like you can get taken out like that.
Dude, I will kick your ass again for old time's sake. My heart froze at the fact he was still alive. It couldn't have been. I had seen what happened to him. He was supposed to be dead. Devil, where do you think he's going to go? Malix inhaled a deep breath and stretched out his arms, looking around with the largest grin on his face before turning to Sam.
Isn't this the most brutal war you've ever seen? Legions killing each other for no goddamn reason other than to rule this pathetic plane. It makes me want to make popcorn and watch the bloodshed.
You have a weird idea of Netflix and chill, my friend. Sam glared hard at Malix. Taking a step towards him, Malix, however, crackled in response and locked eyes with the incubus.
Of course! I came here for a reason. I can't just sit on my ass and watch. Too bad, though. This is some great entertainment.
You're weird.
Then why are you here, asswipe? Got a real death wish this time?
Maybe.
What makes you think you can kill me? Besides, aren't you trying to save energy to fight your old man?
Yeah, but I'm here. Hi, I have a sword. Let's dance. Malik stuffed his hands into his pockets and leaned back, puffing his chest out and flaunting the burnt insignia on his chest.
I got sent here by the head of hell himself.
Really?
Straight from the top! And I got the best seats in the house to the bloodiest war this plane has ever seen!
Uh-huh. Cool. Sam chuckled, cracking his knuckles.
Funny! I thought Satan only gave a shit about devils who didn't get their faces beaten in. Seems like he's getting soft.
Exactly. Instantly, Malix's face shifted to an angry scowl, making the smirk on Sam's face widen.
Now that you're all hot and bothered, wanna tell me what you're up to before I send you back with your head up your ass?
Sweetie, remember, you need to save your energy, so that's my job.
Well, first I'm gonna paint these gates with your blood. Then wait until this war is over before I annihilate every fucking demon left and make this world a part of hell, just like it was supposed to be.
Huh. No, I don't like that plan.
You're funny for a dead man.
He's really not. He's not even funny. Comedy is hard. This guy's just stupid.
Am I? You tried to kill me once before, dipshit.
I did.
Didn't work out so well, did it?
Hey, you're gonna run out of lives eventually. Malik stretched his neck to the side, making a loud, echoey crack sound reverberating through the air. I winced at the sound.
What makes this so funny is that it won't matter who wins this war in the end. Once it's over, I'll send for my boys and we'll fuck everyone up while they're celebrating. Ha! It'll be the bloodiest celebration this plane has ever seen!
Yeah, I don't think Diana's gonna let that happen.
Then we'll seal this world and fuse it with hell, giving Satan a whole world full of demon soldiers and slaves at his disposal.
No.
The chaos of this world practically begged for a war to tear it apart. Now the abyssal planes will truly be a part of hell, like the fuckfaces of heaven intended.
Aw. Interesting. But ain't gonna happen.
Not if I made sure you don't get the chance, fucker.
Exactly. Malix cackled wildly, staring at Sam with a maddened expression. His eyes burned with an insane bloodlust as he smirked and licked his teeth.
It's this world's destiny, shithead! Even humans know that demons belong in hell.
No, we don't. No, they don't. Exactly. Thank you. I felt myself become angrier at Malix. Demons and devils were completely different, and demons, except for the Demon Lord, did not belong anywhere near hell.
Think about it, will ya? How many brainless humans think that demons come from hell? They put demons and devils together like they're no different from each other.
Well, I assume it's just a matter of difficulty ranking, truthfully.
It's inevitable! Every shit stain on this world is gonna bow down to the Lord of Hell, and we'll rip apart the gates of heaven together!
No. Ain't gonna happen. Sam stepped forward once more, cracking his knuckles at his sides. Sweetie, my fight, down boy.
I am so sick of hearing your voice, Malix. Let's just end this.
Sweetie, remember? Save it for your daddy?
Oh, I almost forgot the best part.
Uh-huh. Malik locked eyes with me, suddenly making a violent tremor run down my spine. His gaze spoke nothing but sadistic intent, and his words made his stare much more terrifying.
Just because I can, after we're done taking over this world, I'm gonna take that human bitch and make her the fuck toy of Satan's army.
Again, you can try, you're not gonna succeed. Instantly, Sam vanished and reappeared in front of Malik's, swinging a punch at him. However, he only made contact with the vanishing afterimage. Before I could blink, Malik had disappeared and reappeared behind Sam, punching Sam's head and sending him flying towards the castle wall. Sweetie, spend a minor action. Begin dragon mode. Sam!
Payback time, fuckface!
Aww. Malik flew at Sam's body like a bullet and began to slam his fists into him, the wall cracking and caving in around Sam's body. Help him? Yeah, I'm a help. I wasn't going to be helpless this time. What do you mean this time? Our canon is we got ourselves up out of there. We don't need no man. Besides, I was confident that I was still protected by my grandfather's protection spell against the Hellborn magic. Oh yeah, right, I have an aura. I quickly rushed forward and prepared an attack, but Malik quickly turned his eyes to me with a large smirk and swung his arm towards me, revealing a sharp red blade.
Die!
You first. I didn't get a chance to blink before suddenly being ripped from life. Darkness welcomed me as the ruthless swing cut through my neck and ended me. How could this be? Oh, I didn't even get a dodge option. The last thing I heard was Sam screaming my name. End. Hand of the Devil, E. Well? Huh. That's disappointing. Achievement unlocked. Hand of the Devil. Well, we've had 2 bad endings now. Sooner or later we're gonna get the canonical air quotes good ending, right? Until next, Takligatila Kiddo.